Hey guys, the Super Review Show here for this Cars 3 movie review. I saw it a few days ago. I had to get this review up, so here you go. Anyways, guys, Cars 3. I know. Look, a lot of people think that the Cars franchise is bad, and that it's very true. It generally kind of is terrible. Is one of Pixar's worst, in my opinion. But why? I've seen all three now. After watching Cars 1 all those years ago in like 2007, I was like, oh my god, when are they going to end with this merchandise, with toys and everything, right? And then Cars 2 comes out. Oh, great, more merchandise. Because my cousins had every single one. And then Cars 3 rolls around, and I'm not going to lie, this is my first Cars movie in theaters, but I really thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm going to get into all that right now, but I just want to let you know, as not a Cars fan necessarily, I just really enjoyed this movie. It was really, it felt like the old ones, the other two, but at the same time, it was something that I think was a good send-off for the Cars franchise. I don't think we're going to see a Cars 4 after this. I'll get into why in a sec. But, yeah, so that's that. Basically, here is how this is going to work. The rundown of this film is going to go like this. I'm going to give you the cast rundown of this film, and then at the cast, I'll give some overall plot details, and then after that, I'll give my score. So for those who just are new to this, forgive me. So anyways, let's get down to business here. Cars 3 stars, and returning his role is Owen Wilson as Lightning McQueen, and we have, believe it or not, we have some new. I should mention. Sally and Mater have returned later. The cable guy is Mater once again. Bonnie Hunt is Sally again. And honestly, I'm really glad those characters returned. All the main characters from Radiator Springs are back. Luigi and Guido and Flo, but they play very minor roles. Very, very minor roles in this. They play out. Also starring in this film is, I'm going to butcher this, as Cruz Ramirez, a trainer car who eventually becomes the racer in the last race or whatever, is I'm going to butcher this name. Crista Alonso. Crista Alonso. Okay? She plays Cruz Ramirez, who is now, who is it? She's playing Cruz, who is, I'll get into her character in a minute. And last but not least, we have Chris Cooper as Smokey. Smokey is, believe it or not, Doc Hudson's original trainer and helper. He's still out there, he's doing his thing. And so that's your cast rundown right then and there. Now, here's the deal with Cars 3. So it takes place about a number of years after the events of Cars 2. And they wanted, the way John Lasseter came out and said that we wanted this film to be very, much more emotional. And I guess they got it. They got it out of me for sure. Was that it opens up and the Lightning McQueen, his racers are still racing around. They're still racing, right? But he's getting older. They're all getting older, and there's a new generation of racers coming out. And they're all more aerodynamic. They've been trained a lot easier. And it's forcing a lot of Lightning McQueen's era of racers into retirement. Which I think is, I thought, personally, this is like a crazy moment. But Lightning's like, you know what? I'm done. I am not going to quit. I am so ready for this. And that iconic scene you see in the Cars teaser, that first teaser that came out, that I was like, oh my god, that's when I kind of knew it was going to change for me, was this, how to put this, this shot of Lightning McQueen tumbling over the race, almost like on the line right there, because this new racer, Jackson Storm, takes the lead, right? And then Lightning just spins out, and then he flips over like he's on the teaser. And when I saw it in theaters, I was like, Who would have thought an 18-year-old boy who kind of like didn't really grow up with cars, but like kind of knows what cars is, etc., saw it and was like, oh, kind of got emotional over it. That was a turning point for me because you never see that. But Jackson Storm he was quite the antagonist, not a villain. He was just a bossing around kind of guy. Anyways, long story short, Lightning McQueen eventually he goes back to Radiator Springs and he finds his way around. He's still in the racing industry technically. Then he thought to himself, okay, if I'm gonna get faster, I gotta train. So it was like it was kind of a Rocky movie in a sense because he just had to train. He had to train. And there's a scene in this movie where he's actually training on one of, like what Jackson Storm trains on, but he's not ready for it. He's not ready to train on that way, if you will, of that format. And so I thought that was, a little. It was weird but cool. I don't know. So eventually that doesn't work for him. He has to train the old-fashioned way. He runs into Doc Hudson's old friends who are in older cars. And long story short, they really get down to it, and they teach Lightning how, hey, you're not going to get faster. Your dream is to get faster, but you're not going to get faster. What you can do to beat him is if you were to, if you want to beat him, you got to have more skills. You got to learn more. You learn the old-fashioned way. You got to learn training. You got to train a different way. And so he did. He trained, and he learned tricks on how to maneuver. If like he's stuck, if Jackson Storm is here and the wall is here and he's here, he can just flip over him. Like all these like cool moves that you kind of learn along the way almost with Cars 3, and like with as far as like the Cars franchise is gone, it was really kind of nice to see that again and not just see they're making like a James Bond theme to Cars 2. That was a horrible step. But this really was long story short, I know I'm getting a little off topic with cars, but sorry. They eventually get to the race. Lightning's halfway through the race, and then he hooks up Cruz, who apparently is a big fan of him. She watched him growing up. Now she's gonna race in the race. And this is, like I said, spoilers. She finishes the race, and then she basically wins. Spoilers, but Cruz Ramirez, not Lightning McQueen, Cruz Ramirez wins the Piston Cup over Jackson Storm because she gets in his head. I want you guys to see that for yourself, but to actually see that work play out, it was really crazy, and it was just such a unique experience. Really, not experience, but it was such a unique way of I don't want to say passing the torch because it was passing the torch, but I don't think there's gonna be a Cars 4. Okay, this is the last because Cars. If you watch this trilogy from beginning to end, it's about Lightning McQueen and his journey. It's about that. Even though Cars 2 is about Mater, look, Cars, it's still Lightning McQueen. Lightning McQueen is still Cars. Okay, he's still the head of Cars. He is the guy. So eventually, Lightning. Actually, it's very funny. The last scene you see is actually Cruz and Lightning in Radiator Springs and Doc Hudson's old track. And what happened was they both raced, but Lightning gets a new paint job to the Doc Hudson blue and stuff. It's really cool. But long story short, Cars 3, that's pretty much sorry about it, it's early in the morning. It's a really it's a really good movie. It's a really, the critics kind of panned it a little bit, but I thought it was very good. If you understand it, and if you realize, hey, is this Cars? It's this franchise that was started in 2006. I understand it. But if you understand that, and you understand some of the tiebacks to the first one it made, it really, really held up in a certain sense. And I genuinely loved it. It was really good. So anyways, long story short, that's cast, topics, plot. My overall rating of this film. Now, mind you, I have given Cars 1 and 2 hatred. because it just didn't make sense to me. Like, why are these cars talking? But when I came to understand them, when I came to understand their place in the Pixar world, the Pixar films, I thought to myself, honestly, this is not bad when it comes down to it. It's just, you have to understand, if you understand the first two and you understand what they are, what those films are, and how they exist in this world, and you watch Cars 3, you'll understand how that all kind of comes together, how it all comes to almost a close, if you will. They ended on a pretty good note, with the Doc Hudson paint on lighting. You have to see the movie to see what I'm talking about, of course. But anyways, my rating I gave this was actually in 8 out of 10. I thoroughly enjoyed this quite a bit. I laughed, I joked, I cried a little bit. Not cried, but I got emotional through it. Who would have thought? Because I grew up hating these movies. I rewatched them. I'm like, these are not bad. And then I watched this one. I was like, this is really good. I like this one a lot. And the first words that came out of my mouth, that was an 8. The moment the movie rolled, the credits rolled. It was just crazy. I couldn't believe it at all. Anyways, I'm getting off track. Anyways, an 8 out of 10 for me on Cars 3. Did you guys go see it? What did you think about it? Please leave all your thoughts on this in the comment section below. Love to hear your thoughts. If you have not seen Cars 3, go see it for what it's worth. I think you might enjoy it. If not, I get it. I absolutely get it. Why you might hate it. Why you might not even want to go. But go see it on its own merits. It's the last. I guess it's the last Cars movie to date. And it really did a good job of passing the torch. But at the same time, it kind of held its ground. So, anyways, I will leave you to it. Thank you very much for watching this spoiler-filled video. And if you like what you see here, subscribe for more on this YouTube channel. We'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. Thank you very much. J-Man, off to work. Have a good day.